Did you know that Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 just came out? And there's some fun features that have just been discovered. We start off where we ended in Chapter 1, with a now empty case where Poppy used to be. And as we backtrack, we find the original hallway now blocked by furniture and boxes. We can travel back down this hallway using magic, which just leads to a dead end. And with the previously blocked door now accessible, let's continue forward where we need to unlock Elliot Ludwig's office in order to continue and turn on the power. After turning on the power and clearing this obstacle, we see Poppy being kidnapped by Mommy Longlegs, which oddly enough she's fully modeled inside the hole with some of her features not quite being right. Go down the slide and solve this quick puzzle, and then we're confronted by Mommy Longlegs again, which by the way, she's inside the wall before we trigger the cutscene. After being confronted by Mommy Longlegs, we're given no choice but to agree to play her game, where we have to complete 3 games at the game station before she'll give us the train code to escape Playco Factory and hopefully save Poppy. Flip the lever at the console, and our first game is Musical Memory. We'll notice the shutter door is broken, so we go through this hole in the wall instead, where we find a way to create a new grab pack glove that holds power charges for 10 seconds. Conveniently, the first door we open using this new ability is where the game Musical Memory begins. While this may look like an instant game of memory, it turns out it gets progressively harder, and if we lose, Bunzo the bunny who's suspended above us will have us for dinner. Trying to keep up, the game becomes unbeatable, and we somehow break the machine by pressing an emergency off button. Technically beating the game, Mommy Longlegs reluctantly gives us a piece of the train code and allows us to leave. But as we're crossing the bridge, it collapses under us and we must take a detour through the vent to a rejected toys storage area. With a Five Nights at Freddy's knockoff Sir Poops a lot, rejected toys everywhere, and we need to move this dino from blocking our path. When we start our next game for Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, we're met with Mommy Longlegs again, as she tells us about how the Huggy Wuggies had strings that would pull them back before attacking the children in this elaborate game of whack-a-mole.
So they could be pulled back when they got too close to the children. Have fun.
Which she conveniently removed for us. We use the grab pack to defend ourselves against the many Huggy Wuggies, and after some time the game stops, and Mommy Longlegs awards us with the second code for the train. We leave through what appears to be a utility tunnel with a broken spiral staircase and a cardboard cutout of Candy Cat. After exiting this tunnel, we find ourselves in the back rooms, which is strange, but our path is blocked, but an unexpected new friend shows up to help us proceed. We gotta solve this puzzle to push the cart named Barry to clear the debris. Along the way, we find a VHS tape that reveals more of the lore and a surprise cameo of Jacksepticeye. Finally, we're back at the game station where we have only one game to play, Statues. Another quick puzzle to open the door, and Mommy Longlegs confronts us once more, reminding us that we used to work at this factory. And after a short tutorial video showing us how to play Statues, we began. Kinda like a game of red light green light, PJ Pugapillar pursues us while we must complete the obstacle course, but there's one condition: we can only move while the lights are off. One movement while the lights are on and PJ Pugapillar will attack us. At the end of the play area, we learned it's blocked off and we must escape through a nearby window. Smashing through the glass, we jump down to the next area. We can faintly hear the voice of Mommy Longlegs as she tries to convince us that we won the last game and should come back to her to be rewarded the final part of the train code. Eventually, we find ourselves at the water treatment plant. With an odd puzzle to get across the water containment tank, we collect another VHS with lore that has actor-producer Eli Roth, known for his appearance in Inglourious Bastards and writing the horror film The Hostel. Through the door on the left, we see an adorable cardboard cutout of Catby, whom has some odd dialogue. And we make an interesting discovery in the same area. Traces of blue hairs and spatter on the wall. Could this be where Huggy Wuggy fell at the end of Chapter 1? Is he still alive? Or perhaps a fate worse than death? Focusing on escaping, we complete the conveyor belt puzzle to get a Bonzo toy to open the door in the previous room. But after passing through the water treatment area, we crawl through a vent and find another cardboard cutout, with disturbing dialogue just like the previous ones we found. Continuing forward, we gotta solve another power puzzle, where we find a VHS with lore, before crawling back through the vent. This time the VHS goes into detail about reports of a giant spider at Playco Factory being ignored. Regardless, now with the power on and the door open, our path forward seems clear, so we crawl back into the vent, where we unfortunately fall into the room below it. Walking towards the end of this hallway and seeing a possible way out, we're confronted by Mommy Longlegs, who wants to play another game. This time, it is hide and seek. Interestingly enough, she doesn't immediately chase us, but counts down before disappearing into the dark. As we explore more of this area, we make it past this locked door where Mommy Longlegs finds us and chases us. But hiding where the access is in the ceiling, we escape her for now. She's very persistent. After being chased by Mommy Longlegs, we continue deeper into the mystery of Playtime Co-Factory, where we find a large shutter door that needs to be powered before we can return to the game station. Taking the only way forward, we continue through the dark. Here we find ourselves in a large room with a locked door and a poster of Mommy Longlegs warning us to be careful around fire. And upon further investigation, the machine that controls the door appears to be broken, requiring us to forge a new cog to turn the mechanical gears. Exploring the room, we find a red cog and place it in the mold slot on top of the furnace, and only after powering this large machine does it produce the item we need to open the door. Proceeding forward, we cross another dark hallway where Mommy Longlegs chases us yet again. Staying true to hide and seek, we hide inside the furnace where we made the cog to open the door, and wait for a moment for her to leave. Afterwards, going back down the hallway that she just chased us from, there's a lever we need to turn the power on. But little did we know she was waiting for us in the dark below it, thus beginning another chase sequence with Mommy Longlegs. After flipping on the power, we run for our lives from Mommy Longlegs. Running to the room with the furnace and exiting through this side passage after she blocks our way, we see her running across the wall as we drop into this pipe system. A quick grapple up as she pursues us, and a grapple across, I drop down this hole to escape her. With the power on, we can finally go through this large shutter door. Is it all over? Can we return to the game station and finally leave Playtime Co-Factory? One last door appears to stand before us as I use the blue grab pack to open it, but as soon as I do, Mommy Longlegs appears down the hallway. Barely getting through this door, we see Mommy Longlegs rush through and she gets her hand stuck in the machine. It's worth mentioning there was a safety poster in a previous area that said keep your hands out of the machinery. As I flip on the grinder, we watch in horror as she is finally defeated, but our victory is short-lived as a hand reaches from under the defunct shuttered door and grabs her remains, pulling her into darkness. Having defeated Mommy Longlegs, we find one last VHS containing lore for Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. This time it's about the unknown figure we saw, only known now as Experiment 1006 Prototype.
1006. The prototype.
After continuing up these stairs, we find ourselves above the game station on the observation catwalk. Here we will find the final code for the train and free Poppy. She asks if we killed Mommy Longlegs, in an unusual tone compared to her normally cheerful manner.
I'll board the train.
We go down this slide, hop into the train, and enter the combination of codes we've collected. Toot the horn and away we go, finally free of Playtime Co-Factory. Unfortunately, that was easier said than done. Poppy tells us over the comms that she won't let us leave and that there is more that needs to be done. But something is wrong, the train is going too fast and we try to slow it down using the brakes, only to be derailed and crash. In our last moments before we pass out, we see a sign that reads Play Care, pointing in the direction that we were diverted to. As this concludes Chapter 2, I hope you enjoyed the miniseries covering this chapter. If you have any questions or anything that I might have missed, let me know and we might just see a video covering it in the future. One last thing, I do want to thank my supporters of my YouTube channel for watching my YouTube short form content and even checking me out on TikTok. You guys are the true champions and I hope to see you guys next time.